This week's episode of One of a Kind with RVD is presented by Get Blitzed, and you can get 15% off your order when you head to get-blitz.com and use promo code RVD. Get 15% off.
One of a Kind with Rob Van Dam is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
He really cared a lot about his match and about the business. He really took it seriously and really liked working really hard.
Hey, so yesterday was Eddie Guerrero's birthday. I know we've talked about Eddie before on here, but I knew a couple people were, or at least one of the people one of my dirt sheet writer friends, they were wanted to get maybe your thoughts on working with him in the ladder match again, if you have any memories of that, and talk about just the style that Eddie worked when you did work with him. Was he a pretty stiff guy too in the ring, if you remember or anything?
Eddie was, I think he was like snug enough to be a good compatibility for me and about the business. He really took it seriously and really liked working really hard. He really cared a lot about his match and about the business. He really took it seriously and really liked working really hard. Contrasted when we met and at the same time complemented each other. I think that's what pulled out such a great physical athletic match. And I had 2 ladder matches with him, and one of them was on TV, and I think right before that, could have been right after, but I think before that we had a ladder match. It might have been at a house show that wasn't on TV, and one of them was in Madison Square Garden. I don't know if that's the one that was on TV or if that's the other one. If it's the other one, that would make more sense, because normally I wouldn't be in a ladder match if it's not on TV, but if it's in a Madison Square Garden live event, you got to give them a lot. I think that might have been it. And Eddie's attitude was really cool because, we always knew we were going to have a good match I always know I'm going to have a good match when I work with whoever. I'm too confident because I don't even want to see them. I don't even want to see them and think about it until my music's hitting, and it probably could be a little better if I did care a little bit. But I feel like this is gonna be my first bad match like in decades or something. But anyway, Eddie, one thing that Eddie brought that stuck was when I monkey flipped him, he would take one of the best monkey flips.
Yeah,
I'm the one giving the move, but I can't seem to get everybody consistently. There's certain dudes. Eddie's one of them. AJ Styles is one of them. Matt Stryker. There's a few of them, and boom, they it's something about the way they stiff their body just right so that I can launch them or something. Boom, they go across the ring. And, a lot of times I can do it when the guys are smaller, but still, sometimes the people just barely even get over, or they just go up a little bit and come right back down on me. I got to roll out of the way. And sometimes it's almost like a dud. I've always enjoyed doing the move. And doing it with Eddie, he was like really good at flying across the ring, maybe hitting the turnbuckles on the other side. And he said to me one time when we were talking, next time you do that to me, he said, boom, when you jump up on me and when you're standing on my thighs, about before you flip me, he said, take a moment there, look at the crowd, go RVD, and then monkey flip. I was like, that's fucking awesome. You know, if that's not going to be holding you there too long, you know, fuck yeah. And then boom, that became the way that we did it every time after that.
That's awesome, man. So Rob, you're right. I looked it up right now. You had one of your ladder matches with Eddie at WWE Backlash 2002 for the Intercontinental Championship. Went about 11 and a half minutes, and it was in Kansas City. So the other one you had at Madison Square Garden was the non-televised one.
Okay, that makes sense. And Eddie was like, I know this is your style, your game, you know, let me know when let me know when you got some ideas, and let me know, what we're doing. And so he was really cool that day with that, because coming from ECW, when we would have a ladder match, somebody that either had never had a ladder match before or hadn't had very many would feel like, like they were playing in my field. And Eddie was one of them, and Big Show was one of them. They both told me that they hadn't had a ladder match before.
Wow. Yeah. Wait, so Eddie never had a ladder match before you?
That's what he said.
Wow. Well, wasn't he in one? Maybe I'm wrong. I got to look this up. Maybe he was in one with Rey Mysterio and WCW, but I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
I wonder. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look that up here. Man, that's awesome, though. Man, I loved Eddie. I probably said this on the show before, but like when I was as a kid watching WCW, he was one of the first heels I legitimately didn't like. Like, I did not like him because he was so good at what he did. And then I'm looking back and I'm like, man, Eddie was just too good that I just didn't like, because he was so mean to Chavo, and he was just like this mean prick little guy that you're just like pissed off at. And I'm like,
yeah, he was intense. Yeah. It's like he had a similar intense vibration to his best friend Chris Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
Those are both two guys that were like, they weren't going to be sitting by each other in the dressing room, cracking each other up, making each other laugh, and being silly. Yeah. You know what I mean? They were both two very not silly guys that were real serious guys that just looked like they're half pissed off anyway. So you kind of are afraid to offend him just by even saying something or doing the wrong thing in front of him. It's just like, damn, bro, you look hot already. I don't know better. Yeah, they both had that.
So like, and this would just be leading up to matches, like before a match or before an event or something like that. It'd just be in fucking like game mode, basically, like if they're ready to roll kind of thing.
Well, it'd be like, say, come in the dressing room and I want to get my keys out of my bag so I can go make a trip out to the fucking car or whatever. Boom. I'd be like, Book, we're going to smoke. You want to smoke? And I look down and like Chris or Eddie, like if they just looked up at me with a serious look, I'd be like, me neither. I might do that just to break the tension, because I am silly.
Yeah.
But, it would be like that, man. Just, like, did I say the wrong thing in front of them? And because I knew with Eddie that he had struggles, everyone knew, at least during a certain part of that, the end, or 2004 would have been for me, I guess. I knew that he was coming back and that he had demons, as he put it, and he wore it on his face. He'd be like reading from the Bible, sitting back there with his back against the lockers or whatever in the dressing room when I'm coming through to just change or whatever, and he'd be hanging out there, like purposely staying away from all the, I don't know, I want to say all the bullshit, all the temptation, all the garbage, whatever. Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah. Holy smokes. Yeah. You could tell too, just the way he worked in the ring and everything. Like he was just an intense individual that was very, very passionate about that stuff. So I always like Eddie, man, and stuff. So he did. Maybe this was his first ladder match in WWE, Rob, because I looked it up, and he had a ladder match with X-Pac or Sean Waltman in WCW at Sold Out 1997 as well. So maybe
yeah. It's always possible that I remember it wrong. Big Show had told me he hadn't had a ladder match, and I guess that's believable because he's a giant.
Yeah.
And Eddie probably just told me he hadn't had very many or whatever, and was like, this is your game. Come up with some great shit, stuff like that. And everyone remembers the fan ran into the ring, pushed the ladder over when Eddie was climbing it, and that was a moment. Eddie punched him.